My last name's a dead giveaway, right? Martinez. And I have the typical immigrant story. I wasn't born in the United States. I was born in Belize, Central America, and we migrated to the U.S. almost 40 years ago illegally. And yeah, and so yeah, I'm legal now, so it's not an issue now. But I think that sort of inspired, and I've lived all over the country, but I've sort of settled here in Philly. But what I've never sort of disassociated with was the fact that I am an immigrant, and I have a journey and a story to share, and I'm always interested about learning about others' stories who might have had a similar experience, right? And that's worked its way into my artistic practice, right? I'm traditionally trained I'm trained as a traditional painter, studio artist, and that was my natural sort of God-given talent. And my early years was spent sort of focusing on being a great painter, and that was wonderful. And for the last 20 years, I've been doing murals, and the murals sort of transitioned into more engaging communities because you're working in a public space instead of in my studio, right? So that was sort of a natural transition. And then from doing murals, you start thinking, okay, well, what else can you do in these public spaces that's considered art? So I thought it would be really cool to really have a museum in the Olney section of Philadelphia, where you don't have a lot of museums out that way. I think couldn't be farther away from the art museum out of any place in the city or any of the museums that are downtown. So I went to bring some of that experience on a small scale, but on also a human scale, to the Olney section, because there's tremendous history in Olney. There's, people from all over the world in that community. And I know there's some fascinating stories to be told by the participants. You as an artist could create sort of institutional spaces that focused around the stories of a community. And, I envisioned this to be a space where people in the community can interact with each other, could share their stories of their journeys to America, if they're immigrant or not, if they're long-standing Philadelphians who've been here for generations, they could share their stories as well. And a very important part of this is sort of curating this space and curating personal items of people in the community. Heirlooms, things that might have been handed down from generation to generations, things that might have just been precious to whoever's in the community, and they're willing to share these objects. So the space is going to be about archiving those stories, those objects, and give people the opportunity to interact with each other and share their stories, and then see if that facilitates new conversations, new alliances, and deeper, more connectedness of these people in the community. This project is going to be like a campfire, and it's going to start off really small, and it's going to take a lot of nurturing of that little tiny spark, that flame, to become a fire, a roaring fire. And we're going to have to be attentive to it. And so I want to encourage everybody in the Olney section who's willing to participate to come and share. There'll be food. Whatever I do, there's always going to be some kind of food. And we'll have a conversation. And although I do have a sort of a vision for what this project is going to be, I have an open ear too. So I'm willing to listen to what people in the community say and what they want out of this project. And I'm more than willing to sort of have that input to sort of change it for it'll be a more successful project for everybody.